Hi everyone, my name is Ahmed. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Biconomy, and I've been in the crypto space for the past 6 years and have worked across a multitude of roles, from blockchain research to investing, across different companies in the space and in different jurisdictions. I have an economics background, which sort of really led me to knowing more about Bitcoin in 2016 and really diving into the space further. And Biconomy, it's a company we founded a couple of years ago, really attempting to abstract away all the complexities that we're seeing at the transactional layer in crypto and offering plug-and-play APIs for developers. It's interesting, we, at least for what I do at Biconomy, I do a bit of everything. And it's, within just how projects start, right? It's a startup, essentially, so naturally I'm involved in everything as a co-founder. And we are now a 31 person team in the company. And really what we do is, again, we are all about how we could really bring mainstream adoption to the space, and how can we sort of bring the next billion users. And the way we've been thinking about it is how we could really abstract all the complexities that we're seeing at the transactional layer away from end users. And so the way we do this is we build these plug-and-play APIs for developers, which translates into a better user experience for their end users. And so far right now we are tackling sort of two complexities that we're seeing at the transactional layer in crypto. And one is about gas and the other is about cross-chain transactions. And so we have built products for both. So for us, right now we, for these two products, we have seen really interesting traction. So for the gas abstraction product, which we call Gasless, we actually work with so many different projects. We work with over 80 projects such as Sandbox, Decentraland, DYDX, Zrun, and we operate on different chains, whether it's on Ethereum, Polygon, XDAI, BSC, and essentially these projects are all subsidizing the gas fees for their end users. They either subsidize everything or they subsidize partial, at least a partial of the DApp, right? And so for us, what's really next here is seeing how we could just bring more use cases for different NFT applications we're working with, gaming applications and DeFi applications, right? And so we're looking into things like conditional transactions, gamified transactions that really help better engage their end users when it comes to abstracting away gas complexities. And for this product, what's interesting, we're really bullish on is how can we think about allowing end users to pay gas fees in a different token, right? So this is where we're working on account abstraction and working as well with one big metaverse project on hopefully allowing their end users paying gas fee in the token of that project itself, right? And I think that's going to be really cool. It'll be sort of the first of its use case. And we're just waiting for that audit to complete before we could go live. And on the second part, on the cross-chain transaction part, is Hyphen. Hyphen is the product for essentially removing the complexities that we're seeing at the cross-chain level. And what are those complexities? You just have fragmented liquidity. You have very slow and expensive transfers of assets. And so what we do is, with Hyphen, we provide a cheaper and faster way to move and bridge your assets from one chain to another. And so right now we support USDT, USDC, and ETH, and also Bico, our token, across Ethereum, Avalanche, and Polygon. And we've done over $105 million of volume for Hyphen so far. And what's next for that is really trying to sort of support, of course, more chains, supporting new chains, new assets, because now we're sort of opening up Hyphen to allow for LPs and for sort of a dynamic fee module as well. And there are many interesting things we want to do with that, but for us the focus is all about how can we get developers to really think about how they want to think about, just removing removing all these complexities away from end users. And so we've been working with a couple of dApps like Zrun, where they have gasless in the product, and they also have the Hyphen SDK. So if you're on Zrun, you could easily just move your funds from Ethereum to Polygon within the app itself, and then once your funds are moved, you then use the application in a gas-free way, right? And that's really cool. Like for the end user, it's very seamless. And so this is like the user experiences that we really want to power and transform. And so these, I'd say, are sort of then at least the short-term next steps for us as we sort of build and work on more projects. I think that the great thing about just open source in general is the fact that anyone could do anything, and if that thing has traction, then there's a community and there's a market, right? And because there are markets, there are naturally going to be ways of, hey, we want to connect to this market. So I'm very bullish on a multi-chain future, because like how we have many countries, many universities, right? Everything talks to each other, right? And so I think for the chains that will exist, like the current chains that will exist for the long term, or the new chains that will come in the long term, we will definitely see different ways of how they interact with each other. And I think that's really important, because it just allows for, people getting access to different things on different chains, and like getting access to communities as well. And so how I see at least with the wormhole attack, of course, like that was something that was unfortunate, but what's great about wormhole itself, I'm not financially invested in wormhole at all, but like it's the fact that they are here for the long term. They actually put their money where their mouth is, so which is great. So they are actually trying to build this sort of native bridge, and this is we could go into the discussion of the different types of bridges out there, because of course these guys are when you think about wormhole or nomad or others, they are essentially sort of minting and wrapping and sort of burning assets on sort of these different chains, and I think there is a market that sort of exists for that, and that's where security is probably just number one priority, right? Like that is like literally the thing that they have to think about the most. When it comes to Hyphen and the things that we're focusing on is more so, yes, security is number one, but because we build on top of native bridges, everything that we do is partial infrastructure, but also on the liquidity layer as well. Meaning that because we have single-sided pools of the same asset on different chains, it allows us to have sort of different and lower security risks, whilst also optimizing for faster transfers and cheaper costs. So what's interesting here is that I think there'll just be different trade-offs and different layers in this whole sort of bridging space, and that's going to become sort of very fundamental in the coming years, because we're going to see which bridges have sort of been battle tested, which liquidity layers are the ones that are the most efficient, and then you have the aggregators as well. And so I think what we're going to see is the market will just sort of inform us and tell us which ways are the best to go, because of different battle tested solutions and sort of standing the test of time. It's awesome. I mean, I would also, it's awesome with just a pinch of salt. I mean, we are definitely seeing euphoria within the whole NFT space. It is quite, it does feel a bit like the 2017 ICO boom, and in a way, I can see an NFT bear market coming, and we might still, I can see it coming, whether it's this year or next year, I'm not really sure, but at the same time, it's like just being here at ETHDenver it's just showcased that how amazing, you know, this space has done, and just now bringing new people in. 2 years ago, when I was at ETHDenver, just before the pandemic, there was probably maybe 1,000 people. Like here, there's more than 10,000 people that's applied, right, and that are here in Denver trying to learn about Web3, trying to get involved in crypto. And I think that's phenomenal. And so I'm sort of seeing really that the overall space right now, from just the new people like coming in, really trying to understand about this new technology, and about sort of, and I see everything as this sort of paradigm shift in just crypto and Web3 generally. And it's, and then when we go sort of above that layer, like, into like the different brands, the different companies, that are experimenting in this space, right? And another thing that I would say is like, it's awesome to see we've moved away from like private permission blockchains to now everyone building on public blockchains, like, and it was kind of obvious, the intranet versus the internet, right? Which one won? And so it's very clear the public blockchain space is going to win as well. And we're also seeing and sort of speaking with sort of various, partners, and it's just interesting to see like even different financial institutions that have always been building private blockchains solutions or using those are now going to the public space, right? And I think that's going to be really exciting. Je m'appelle Ahmed, poisson, and what else? Poulet. That's all I know. So fish and chicken. But I forgot to say I like.